Welcome back, and if you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, broadcasting live from Lagos. A reminder of our major stories. Daredevil robbers kill 3 persons, including a police officer, in attack on a bank in Owerri, the Imo state capital. Gunmen kidnapped 2 German archaeologists in Kargako local government area of Kaduna State. Acting President Professor Yemi Osinbajo withholds assent on 4 bills passed by National Assembly last year, offers explanations for rejection. And the High Court voids South Africa's decision to withdraw from the International Criminal Court. For more on our top stories and others, please visit our website, channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. You can also watch us on the go on your mobile device. Log on to m.channelstv.com or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Having the Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have the Eyewitness feature, so you too can be part of the news. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. And now to some of the Eyewitness photos you sent in. Our first image is this one from Sango Ota in Ogun State, where earlier today a protest was staged by rice traders over what they termed illegal destruction of their shops by men of the Customs Service. The statement from the customs officials has it that suspected smugglers were storing contraband products in the stores, a case the Eyewitness reporter wants thoroughly investigated. Our next picture is taken from Lagos State, showing an overloaded truck conveying goods and passengers across the 3rd Mainland Bridge. Our Eyewitness reporter describes this as dangerous and wonders how the agencies connected to the road safety missed it. And finally, from Benue State is the image of a road described by our Eyewitness reporter as the worst in the state, and wants the state and federal government to urgently construct the road. We thank you for the pictures and we ask you to keep them coming. The President today reportedly spoke with the Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje during a prayer session in the State Government House. The prayer was said to have been organized by the state government officials for the quick recovery of President Muhammadu Buhari. After Governor Ganduje asked the President how he was feeling, President Buhari reportedly answered, quote, "I'm much better now and I thank you for the prayers and indeed entire Nigerians," end of quote. The brief conversation was believed to have been heard by the people in the hall, having been placed on speakerphone. There have been calls recently for President Buhari to speak directly to Nigerians who are eager to know the state of his health, the true state that is. He sent a second letter to the Senate informing of his intention to extend his stay in the United Kingdom, where he is receiving treatment. And the Director General of the National Broadcasting Commission, Mr. Modibo Kawu, has given a 3-week ultimatum, and that is to broadcast stations to pay up outstanding fees, licensing fees, which he says runs into 5 billion naira or will face sanctions. Mr. Kawu also gave a 6-month notice to over 69 defaulting broadcasting stations to adjust their transmitters' radiating power to what is prescribed in their licenses or face decommissioning. Our correspondent Omologo Nadi reports.
The occasion is the broadcast stakeholders meeting in Abuja, with issues on the day's agenda spanning digital switchover concerns, licensing fees, frequency matters and broadcast rules, among others. But it is also a day the broadcast regulator threatens to wield a big stick against broadcasters violating the rules. The Director General of the National Broadcasting Commission, Malam Modibo Kawu, set the tone for the meeting with his first ultimatum, a deadline of March 15th for all broadcast stations to pay outstanding licensing fees.
Stations are owing the NBC over 5 billion naira as license fees. I want to use this medium to inform you, ladies and gentlemen, that the NBC would be invoking the relevant laws against erring stations. Consequently, all stations without exception are expected to complete payment of all monies owed to the Commission by the 15th of March 2017.
On the heels of this deadline is a 6-month notice period to about 69 stations who are transmitting beyond the specification of their licenses, followed by a February 28th deadline to broadcasters who do not have aviation warning lights on their masts, and March 31st ultimatum for the installation of off-air recording facilities. While urging fellow broadcasters to adhere to the transmission specifications, the chairman of Channels Media Group and the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, Mr. John Momo, appealed for an extension on licensing fees deadline.
Things are very tough, so I think we'll have to go and lead a special delegation to the NBC DG to say, DG, March is just a few weeks away. We know we've been erring in payment of licenses, some of us, but we will plead that you reconsider that. But we must, as people who are responsible, pay our license fees, and we must give commitments that this will be cleared.
This broadcast stakeholders meeting is dominated by issues surrounding the digital switchover plans of Nigeria. However, the chairman of the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, Mr. John Momo, says that there is no need to put a deadline to the switchover process, but instead Nigeria should just roll out and then keep the tempo sustained while addressing challenges along the way. Omelogo Nnadi, Channels Television News.
Discourage and stand against acts of corruption. That was the message to women at the Southwest rollout of the Nigerian Women Against Corruption project. The project, flagged off in December 2016, is an initiative of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in collaboration with the Office of the Wife of the President. Our correspondent, Yomi Otaigwe, was at the event and now reports.
It's a large turnout of participants from different walks of life at the Nigerian Women Against Corruption project rollout by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Some wives of governors, women groups, notable women leaders, and girls from various schools in Nigeria's southwest region are here. While welcoming everyone to the event, the acting EFCC chairman explains why the commission is involving women across Nigeria as allies in the efforts to sanitize the country of corruption.
If there is one enemy that we need to urgently confront in this country, it is corruption. In this task, we can only look in the direction of women who are naturally gifted with the power to raise and nurture generations of Nigerians.
The keynote speaker, who is a renowned human rights lawyer, Ayo Obe, talks about the roles women can play in the anti-graft war.
Nigerian women can fight for ethical behavior, can fight to instill integrity into their children, are entitled to expect and demand it from those with whom they interact. Let us set the pace for the morality that we want to see at home, in our homes and in our country.
And other women add their voices.
Don't let this message end here. Let us follow it up to our homes. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's go back to our homes, put things right. Let's go back to the marketplaces. And let this be our slogan, that corruption is no longer in the Nigerian society.
And then the official launch of the Women Against Corruption project in the Southwest region.
The Nigerian Women Against Corruption initiative is expected to be taken to other zones of the country, particularly the grassroots, so as to expand the army of women enlisted in the fight against corruption in Nigeria. Yomi Otaigwe reporting for Channels Television News.
And staying with the anti-corruption fight, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has held its first ever roundtable discussion on corruption in Lagos. Titled Combating Corruption and Impunity, the meeting, organized in conjunction with the National Endowment for Democracy, sought ways to improve the effectiveness of anti-corruption mechanisms in Nigeria.
Legal experts, representatives of the Nigeria Bar Association, the judiciary and anti-graft agencies have been brought together to score the current fight against corruption and chart the way forward. They observe that the fight must begin within their ranks and at the lowest rung of society.
Let's take a situation where a man has been arrested for corruption. He's dragged to court. The clerk that will carry his file to court expects that we should give him money before the file will reach the court.
Professor of International Law and Jurisprudence at the University of Lagos, Akin Oyebode, asks the anti-graft fighters to broaden their scope.
There are other jurisdictions that will take a second look. And even within West Africa, we have that Community Court of Justice of ECOWAS. It's in Abuja there. But very many lawyers, they don't know the status of the Community Court of Justice.
Other suggestions for tackling corruption are proffered.
You can imagine when judgment is given in a case and there was manifest injustice. Not only that, the court still refused to release the case file for us to appeal. Then what are you expected to do as a counsel? Don't hesitate to write petitions. Write to the CJ, copy the chief registrar, copy the judicial service, copy the attorney general, copy all of them. Then watch and see what happens.
The solution to corruption in our country is in all of us. We need a total national reorientation as a people.
Other speakers also advocated a national crime database which would hold fingerprints of all offenders, as well as a law of forfeiture of stolen monies to discourage corrupt acquisition. Mary Alale Yusuf, Channels Television News.
An industrial action by civil servants appears to be looming in Kogi State as labor unions have issued a 3-day warning strike to commence next week. The president of the Nigeria Labour Congress in the state, Mr. Edoka Onu, announced this at a joint press conference of the NLC, the Civil Service Negotiating Council and the Trade Union Congress in Lokoja, the state capital. The unions want the government to pay civil servants the 14-month salary arrears it allegedly owes them.
We use this opportunity to call on governments to pay the dying workers of Kogi State who had not taken salary in the last 1 year. But yet all over the media and everywhere is that the government is not owing Kogi workers. We salute the courage of our governor in Kogi State who has said that they will not in any way shortchange any genuine worker in Kogi State. But we made bold to say that enough is enough of such statements. Where genuine workers we know as our brothers and sisters have not been paid in the last 1 year. Where is the truth in these statements? We want to put it holistically that the organized labor in Kogi State is calling on the state governments to genuinely pay all the workers who have not been paid their salaries before now. 2, we want to call on the state government to call as a matter of urgency, call the tertiary institution in Kogi State to a roundtable discussion so that they can resume back from the strike they are. The state government has given 31st of March as a deadline to this screening exercise. That is the position of the governor of the state. That is his position. But we have passed through pains in Kogi State that 31st we have no doubt in our governor that it will come to the end of the screening exercise. But we are marking a 3-day warning strike for that 31st not to pass. So we are serving the government a 7-day ultimatum between now and 27th of February, which we shall proceed on a 3-day warning strike and in solidarity of our tertiary institution members who have been on strike for quite some time, so that the government can bring us to a round table and talk with us and find a solution to this problem.
When the news at 10 returns, Nigeria's Sovereign Investment Authority lays out plans for infrastructure outlook in 2017. That's on Business News. Join us again.